Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today finally for another video. I apologize for the lack of uploads the last couple of days. Just been busy with some real life stuff, but we are back now. I'm going to make it up to you guys as well. So we're going to be starting with a brand new CCP video on the latest champion added to the game, and that is Cassandra Nova, dude. If you guys saw, Deadpool and Wolverine, that movie was phenomenal. I think top 5 in the MCU. Easily, man. I really enjoyed that movie. And she, of course, was our villain. Well, one of our villains in that. And, yeah, she's insane. She's so OP, man. The sister of Professor X. Like, I didn't even know this character existed before seeing that movie. And then seeing her abilities and power set, and I was like, holy crap. And I was not at all expecting for her to get added to MCOC. But it was a welcome surprise. Another bald chick getting added, the second of this year, actually. We got Okoye, Cassandra, and then I think it's like 3 bald chicks total, or maybe more. There's Moondragon, Nebula's kind of bald. The bald chicks, man, are growing in the contest, unlike their hair. Anyways, let's talk about her abilities a little bit before we jump into some gameplay. So, we do have her all maxed out on the SIG right now. So when Cassandra would inflict a personal neuroshock, she deals a burst of energy damage. This scales with base attack only. Then while channeling, reduce incoming damage from non-special attack 3 hits by 45%, doubled while fighting skill champions. So against skill champions, if you get hit while channeling, you're reducing that first hit by 90%. And it definitely happens. Also, to put this into perspective, I've played Cassandra for less than 2 hours, before creating this video, getting all the gameplay. It's less than 2 hours of playtime. So, please don't assume I'm like playing her to her absolute peak potential, because I'm still learning myself. Absolutely. But in my learning phase, I absolutely got smacked multiple times while channeling. And having that damage reduction against skill champs definitely came into play. Then the third bullet point there is, when inflicted with bleed, refresh Cassandra's 3 oldest personal regeneration passives. Now this, I'm going to be showcasing to you guys on one of the fights later on. Be on the lookout for that. Her regen can be pretty insane, actually, in certain matchups. So, now we have her anti-self always active. So all of her attacks don't make contact except for her first medium. The rest are all energy damage. And your heavy attack can be charged for 3 seconds. That can also happen. Sometimes you're just sitting there charging heavy, and then all of a sudden your 3 seconds are up, and then it just lets go. And it's like, oh, well, they didn't want that exactly. So you gotta be a little bit mindful of that for sure. When the opponent gains bar power, Cassandra inflicts a fear passive for 12 seconds. So, the important thing is her stuns. You charge the heavy, and then once they get close enough to you, you inflict them with a stun passive, which is really nice. She applies neuroshocks. She applies daunted while channeling. And then once you have enough daunted, you start applying neuroshock on all your basic hits. So they're paused while channeling and during her special attacks. They scale with base attack only while Cassandra is suffering from shock against tech champion. Personal neuroshocks cannot be inflicted through block. We have psionic entity with 12 plus personal daunted. Basic attacks inflict 1 personal neuroshock. I just mentioned that, so you need at least 12 to have a guaranteed neuroshock application on all hits. And then as a defender, these can be inflicted through non-well-timed blocks. And performing the first hit of a special attack 1 or 2 passively roots the opponent for 3 seconds. This root is paused until the final hit and removed if the final hit is well-timed or block. So you only get that root if you have 12 or more of your daunted effects. If you don't have that, you will not be rooting the opponent on your special 1 and 2. Now, the special 1, this is how you get that regeneration passive. So it heals 20% of your missing health over 20 seconds, and it stacks up to a max of 5 times. So while active, Cassandra's regeneration rate cannot be reduced below 0%, and the first and final hits inflict 1 personal shock. These can be inflicted through non-well-timed blocks. Then we have the special 2. So each hit that strikes the opponent or a non-well-timed block inflicts 1 personal neuroshock. If 2 or more consecutive hits are well-timed blocked or dodged, remove 1 personal neuroshock. Whoops, accidentally clicked off that. And then when the opponent or a non-well-timed block has been struck 3 times, inflict a reverse control passive for 3 seconds, pause until the final hit is attack, which is not really important as an attacker. And then the special 3 I tried this out in one of the fights. I don't know if I record if that one's included in the video, but it didn't really seem to be that worth it. But she consumes all of her personal Daunted and deals a burst of 38,000 energy damage with its base potency increased by 20% flat for each Daunted consumed. I mean, that is quite a bit of damage. All personal Daunteds are paused for 30 seconds or until either champion activates a special attack. So if you really just need to cash in a bunch of damage, you know, the Special 3 is not a bad route. But for the most part, you're going to be sticking to Special 1 and Special 2 from, again, my preliminary 2-hour testing session. Alright, with all that said, we're going to go jump into a quick Winter Soldier fight, and then we're going to jump to the CCP testing map, and I got tons of gameplay recorded for you guys, in particular against the skill class. So, let's go ahead and get started with little Realm of Legends Winter Soldier. So, start this fight, just go for a parry, heavy, and then just immediately start holding that heavy once again. You see there he gets stunned. Let that go. Alright. And then now we just want to build up our power. You can see we are applying those Neuroshock on every single hit now. Alright, go like that. And then like that. If he wants to throw the special, there we go. Alright, now we charge. So right here, it let go early. No, why did he throw that? No! This fight's going so terribly. Oh my god. So this went really poorly, I would say. Really poorly. That was terrible. How fast was that? That was slow. 50, yeah, dude, that was so slow. Let's run that back. He did not throw the special attack when I wanted him to. And then he did throw it when I didn't want him to. And all my stuff started falling off. That was unideal. Let's try one more time. I think we can definitely get the fight time under that. And that's fine. It's fine. It's going to give us more power. That was calculated. Alright, there's the special. Charge going. Okay. Just gonna charge. Okay. Charge again. There we go. There we go. Alright, he should just be dead now. This should nuke him. Right? Or not. Where's the crits? Alright, now special 1 though. Alright, that felt way better. Let's see. What do we got? 47 seconds. I mean, eh. But you know, that's pretty much the standard rotation. One big special 2. I think get the most crits on that. And then followed up by a special 1. It's kind of what you want to go for. What I found to be pretty good to kill some pretty big health pool. So that's Cassandra Nova, just a little bit of testing. Now let's go jump to the CCP testing map and show off all of her Super Plus matchups. Alright guys, we're back now. And so the first matchup we're going to be getting into, and just so you guys know, this is basically a Battlegrounds simulation. So it's very similar to Battlegrounds, but there's no nodes and there's no masteries. So other than that, it would be like a Battleground simulation. It's going to be rank 4 Cassandra Nova against rank 4 defenders. And so up first, we have a super duper annoying skill defender in Lumatrix. So Lumatrix, you know, he activates his invisibility right after his special 1. But because we are applying Neuroshock, it's all good. And we cannot miss against him. So that's great. So here, just going to drop the special 2. I'm not even that ramped, but it's fine. Drop that. Combo, relic, could have gotten back to a special 1. He's already dead. So I only had to bait 1 special out of that fool, and he's dead. He's cooked, bro. 35 seconds. 35 seconds. She's gonna be quite quick in Battlegrounds. And another thing to remember is that in Battlegrounds, you know, your spirit gauge starts 50% filled always. So you're gonna have access to that relic even quicker, which is gonna be really nice with her for sure. So up next, we're fighting Killmonger. So one thing to keep in mind, if you paid attention right there, my first medium, I took about like 600 damage. And we went over that in the abilities, that her first medium makes contact. The rest of her attacks are all energy based, but you need to be careful on that first medium attack. So for example, against Killmonger here with Reverberation, that medium attack you will take damage on, so it's just something to keep in mind. Another matchup where that's going to come into play is against Attuma, which I will show you guys. So right there, we've got like no crits on that special 2. That was trash. No crits, but then we just loop back for the special 1, and bro is dead. Again, that special 2, special 1 rotation is going to be killing most things, especially in Battlegrounds. There's not much is going to be surviving that. 45 seconds, and that was against a champ that has insane critical resistance, so our crit rate was really poor there. Still handled it in this full special 2, special 1 rotation. Right now we're getting into the Attuma matchup that I was just alluding to here. So you're going to see I'm starting the fight using light attacks, and then we immediately go for our charge. All of these attacks are safe from Attuma's damage. It's only our first medium attack. So right there I go for a light intercept just to avoid the medium attack. Right there I go for a heavy punish, again, to avoid the medium attack. Here, go for another heavy punish. And now our stun has recharged. So now we can go ahead and start charging. I wanted to punish that special, but I totally messed up the spacing there. So right here, I just need an opening. So boom, I get another light intercept, just avoiding that first medium altogether. And now he's just about dead. But here, I could have went for a medium, but I didn't want to use that first medium, so I used some lights to get closer. Kind of whiffed on some lights, but got close. It worked. I avoided the medium damage. Finished that fight 95% health, 41 seconds. You know, so she can totally handle Attuma, Killmonger, but just be mindful of that first medium. Even if you take a little bit of damage, not the biggest of deals. Plus, you can regen that damage back with the special 1. There's going to be one fight in particular where I really show you guys the power of that regen. So be on the lookout for that. I'll call out when we get to that. But up next, we have Korg. So rank 4 Korg. And again, just got to be mindful of that first medium. Second medium's totally fine, but it's just that first medium here. Again, we've got to be a little bit careful of. So boom, bait that, and then I'm going to immediately start channeling, because I don't want to dash in again and take any damage. So I'm just going to charge and then go for the light intercept, and then boom, drop the special 2, 9+ Neuroshocks, 23 Daunted. Again, really poor crit RNG. Korg does have crit resistance as well, but it doesn't really matter, because as you can see, he's dead. And before I even like launched a special 1, he died. So yeah, rank 4 Korg down, full health almost, 99% health. 44 seconds, not too shabby. Alright, last but not least, we have Bullseye. And then the only 2 skill defenders left are Yelena and Nick Fury. Those 2 champions are going to get some more love when it comes to the gameplay. We're going to run the full gauntlet, but Bullseye is our last one and done. So, is Cassandra good for Bullseye? Short answer, no. Long answer, she's okay for him. But is she going to be as good as Mr. Sinister, as Onslaught? Absolutely not. No. Can she do it? Kind of like Jean Grey? Yeah. It's a little sketchy and a little unideal, but doable, yes. Are you probably going to lose some health? Also, yes. So here, we just drop the special 1, and again, that is going to put him into root. So here, he's rooted and evading, but I'm attacking him. Which is, very weird. But we got him down. That's a rank 4 Bullseye. We got him down. Under a minute, but we took almost 30% of our max health. So, doable. Absolutely. Ideal? No. But doable. You're going to just expect health loss. Again, could probably be playing the matchup better, but my preliminary testing, that was about the best run I could get, and I did try a few times. So, up next, now we're going to be running the full Yelena Gauntlet. So, in the third Yelena fight, that is where we're really going to be showing off that regeneration. So here, get a little bit of a special 2 dex, not too shabby. Then here we're going to get some more channeling going. And you can see Cassandra's actually screwing with Yelena's combo meter. So boom, here 25 Daunted, 11+ Neuroshock, and you can see that just obliterates her health pool. Yelena dead. Just cooked her, bro. 39 seconds. 39 seconds. So, yeah, she's a very, very, very good Yelena counter, bro. Like, Yelena just came out. She already had quite a few counters. Well, now we got another really good counter, so that's cool. Honestly, like, I feel like we did not need a new Yelena counter already. But, you know, whatever. Whatever. It's all good. So here, I left her just below a bar of power. Now we're going to be channeling. Boom, there we go. And we immediately go up to 25 Daunted. I think because we're messing with her combo, we're getting more Daunted. Not entirely sure. Again, I don't have her entire abilities page memorized yet. I'm still learning as well. But yeah, she is just so freaking good for Yelena. And that's another thing you can kind of do right there. As long as you're not too close, you can just channel while they're rooted. Get some free channeling going. So here, I need to bait this special. But or just try to go for it, and I opted to trying to go for it. Did not work out, so now we have to eat a special 3. But again, that is where I get to show you guys the power of her regeneration. So we just barely survive this second Yelena. She applied a fat passive bleed on us, you know, from her special 3, but it's okay. We're still alive, and now we're gonna be jumping into this fight. I think below 10% health, and we're going to be going for some regen. So here I'm just reading, you know, what the special 3 does, thinking if I wanted to go for that. You know, I hadn't tried out the special 3 rotation yet at this point in my testing, so that's why I was reading it. But what we're going to go for is, no, just special 1. So we're going in with 13% health, a little bit above 10%, and, oh god, that first hit did a bunch. Now we're below 10%. So we're at 8% health, man, on death's door, right? This is not looking good, but Cassandra has some pretty crazy regen. So let's see just how good that regen is. So boom, we're gonna drop our first special 1. So it's healing for 545 per tick. Again, that's healing for, I think it was 20% of missing health. So that's a passive regen, healing us for over 1,000 health every single second. Now I'm kind of trying to block on purpose in there. Because what I'm trying to do is trigger one of her bleeds. Because if I trigger one of her bleeds, you know, then it'll pause my regen. So if I can do that, I could pause the regen. So here, again, I think I'm going to try to block some of this. Yeah, there. So it hit a bleed through the block. So that actually refreshed our passive regeneration. So now that's going to keep healing us up. And there was another big blocked hit that inflicted a bleed, so that also refreshed the regen. Now we go for another special 1, so that applies a second regeneration passive. And again, against a champion like Yelena, I think Cassandra Nova is like the only champ that's, you know, actively going to be reducing her combo meter as the fight goes on, preventing her from entering that elimination mode. You know, like even her best counter, like Mr. Sinister, he still has to push her into that elimination mode. You know, there's nothing Mr. Sinister can do about that. When she's in the elimination mode, it's fine. Like you can get, she can hit you with the reversal and you don't take any damage, and it's really not that big of a deal. But like still, Sinister still has to deal with that elimination mode. Cassandra just prevents her from ever going into elimination mode. Like as far as I can tell from all my testing here, this is the biggest Yelena I can find, and we've been in this fight for minutes, and her combo is still super low. Like it's crazy. So right there again, we purposefully take some hits just to refresh those regeneration passives once again. You can see we've already healed up past 50%. And again, these stack up to 5. In the fight, actually, I was thinking they only stack to 3. But it's just that's the max that can be refreshed with the bleed trigger. But no, they stack up to 5. So right there, boom, we took a blocked hit, refreshed all 3 of them. So now I got 3 brand new, fresh regeneration passives that are ticking for 777. The lottery numbers right there, bro. 777 right there, boom, take a blocked hit, they all refresh. 3 regens healing me for 777 per tick, and I just refreshed them all. Like this is going great, dude. We're just nuking her combo. Drop another special 1. Here's where I realized, oh, 4 regens. I didn't even know I could do that. That's awesome. And then here we push her to her special 2. I wanted to, you know, kind of block it, refresh all the 4, but then I was like, no, I can just kill her. And then I did. And yeah, Look at that health bar, bro. We went in there 13% health. We came out with 99%. Like, wow. Wow. Completely prevented Yelena from ever entering her elimination mode. I think Cassandra is definitely one of the best Yelena counters, especially for especially going to be like an alliance war and in just long duration fights. Typically where she would be entering elimination mode, Cassandra's going to be preventing that. The only thing is that she can't be stun immune. Cassandra needs to really be applying those stuns to really be a super plus matchup. But man, that's insane. That was ridiculous. All right, and now the matchup that's even better than Yelena, arguably, and that is Nick Fury. So let's get in here, man. Nick Fury has been and remains one of the absolute best defenders ever released since he came out, dude. Like, Nick Fury has always been a relevant defender. And the moment he came out as a 7-star, he just his resurgence was incredible. Like, Nick Fury, man, he's him. You know, they've tried so many times to make counters to him, like with Toad, Penny Parker, Danny Moonstar, you know, trying to counter his second life. They can all do it, but no one runs those champs. All those champs kinda suck overall, you know, compared to the super duper meta champs. But Cassandra, yeah, let's watch that again. So what happened? So we dropped the special 2, and she basically marked him. No healing, and he's dead. So I think Cassandra, again, she just came out, but I think Cassandra is the best Nick Fury counter in game now. Like I said, they've already made other champs that can do it, but Cassandra does it very, very easy. Plus, she's so good in so many other areas, against so many other matchups, and on top of everything else, she seems like a pretty good defender too, on top of all that. So right there, you see my heavy released a little bit early, but luckily, I got lucky, and he still got stunned by it. But yeah, dude, Cassandra is just ridiculous, especially for Nick. Like, this is such an insane matchup to just completely be able to easily nuke his first life and then prevent the second life. And it's like you're just playing her normally, you know, you're not like doing something special against Nick Fury, you know. So here we're running the full Nick Fury gauntlet. So this is the second Nick Fury. This is be like a rank 5 Nick Fury. So he survived the first special 2, but we dropped that special 1 and he's cooked, dude. Again, like the full rotation is just does so much damage. Easy cook. But like it's not even needed against a regular rank 4 Nick Fury in Battlegrounds, which is the current highest level. Just 1 special 2 with her is probably going to be enough. And that's ludicrous. That's freaking crazy, dude. Alright, the last but not least, the biggest Nick Fury I can find, over 1 million health. Let's see how she does. So start the fight, heavy counter his heavy, and then immediately start heavy charging again. Get those Daunted built up. Alright, we're at 13, 14 of them. So I feel like this is where Cassandra starts to fall off a little bit, you know, in her ideal rotations and fight matchups. I think short term, medium term, phenomenal. But once you start to get like past 1 million health, getting into the longer form fights, I think that's where she starts to fall off and drop off a little bit. It's still good for sure, still useful, but I just think she really shines and excels more in those short to medium form fights opposed to the longer form fights. Because, you know, you kind of want to just build up your rotation and then nuke them. You know, you don't really want the fight to keep going after that. So at this point, you know, like I already built up my rotation, did the damage, but I only did 50%, you know? So now it's like, well, this is like kind of unfamiliar territory. It's like, well, what do I do now? It's like, I guess, just keep it going, you know, just keep it going. So I should definitely be going for special 2s. So boom, here we go for another special 2, that's good. But some of my Daunted fell off. Our Neuroshock was looking pretty high though. So boom, go for a little heavy, get some Daunted back. Alright, back up to 19. Alright, go for some heavy charging. Alright, boom, back up to 25. But right here, I just don't have any power. But boom, there we go. 23 Daunted, 13 Neuroshock, dropped the special 1. I was hoping this would do a little bit more damage. I didn't get any crits on that, which is a little bit annoying. He's just not dying. He just has so much health. But at least we're getting a little bit of that passive regen. But then another special one. I'm like, dude, just freaking die. There, we got a crit. That helped. And then throw the Striker for good measure. And he's cooked. You know, a really good reason to just throw that Striker at the end in a situation like that as well is because once you use that Striker, the AI can't do anything. You know, they can't activate a special. Like, you're chilling. So it's a good way to kill some frames without having to worry about what the defender is going to do. Especially when when Nick Fury's right about to die. You know, you don't want him doing anything. So you want to put him in in a state where he can't really reply. All he has to do is either take the Striker on the block, on hit, or try to avoid it. And again, it's killing time, which is what I want in that situation. So, yeah, man, that is rank 4, 7-star, Sig 200, Cassandra Nova, the latest and great mutant champion, dropping an MCOC. So, I think she's really good, dude. I think she's really good. I remember someone made a comment like, is Cassandra Nova better, or who's better, Cassandra Nova or Jean Grey? And my response was, for now, Jean Grey. And this was like, you know, when the first deep dive came out. And they responded to me, it's like saying I was wrong. And I'm like, how am I wrong? Because you asked a question, I gave you my opinion. Like, what, bro? But anyways, after now having tested Cassandra, again, still limited testing, preliminary testing, I have a better answer to that question. And I would say I think Jean is better for right now. Absolutely. Cassandra has not eclipsed Jean for me yet. Definitely not. Definitely not. Jean is still so powerful. But I do think Cassandra is not too far below Jean. You know, like I would say Onslaught number 1, Mr. Sinister number 2, Jean Grey number 3, and then like 4 or 5 in the mutant class, like Dazzler, Cassandra. I could see both of them being in that top 5. I could absolutely see Cassandra being in the conversation for the top 5 best mutants. I think she's very good, but again, this is still very early. That's just my early thoughts and opinions after about 2 hours of testing her, reviewing the testing footage now and making a video on it. So yeah, I think she's pretty damn good. But got to give it some time to really see how she ages in the contest. But I'm really excited, man. I might even go for an early access bundle. If you guys really want me to, just drop a like on the video, drop a comment letting me know you want to see it. Because yeah, I could, like, if I pulled her as 7-star, I could rank for her. Which would be pretty cool. But yeah, it's gonna wrap up for this video, guys. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.